Honorable Chairman, sir, I too rise to extend support to the motion of thanks to the Governor, Honorable Governor of the State of Meghalaya for his address. It was an exhaustive address encompassing key policies for implementation in the state of Meghalaya for this financial year. Sir, political divide, regrettably, may interpret truth differently, and there will be an attempt to derail this address as irrelevant and a deviation from reality. On the other hand, I wish to interpret this document as one that has understood the complex and multiple details of governance that require addressing, supplementation, and strategy. A government that admits its weaknesses will design a checklist that will prioritize such deficiencies and approach these cumulative problems and attempt to design cognitive, corrective measures. Page 1 of this document admits to the occurrences of IED blasts that threatened all that is safe and secure. The one challenge to peace and development is the persistent insurgency issue. The MD has taken up the challenge and has taken a bold step to extend dialogues with a banned militant outfit that has been operating in the state since the 1990s. Peace talks with other insurgent groups took shape and concluded positively. However, the HNLC dialogue remained inconclusive. The MDA's government's effort to take up the crucial HNLC peace talk sends a positive message to citizens across the state. So, under home and political, there is a need for the MDA government to focus on the recruitment of police personnel to man the women police stations instituted across the state of Meghalaya. This found no mention in the Honorable Governor's address. Crimes against women and children, including domestic violence, can be addressed only if we have functional women police stations. POCSO cases are now being disposed of at a much higher rate. However, women personnel manning the women police stations are in short supply. This gap factors dearly to ensuring that justice to abused women and girls is not denied. All efforts must be put in to protect, give hope, and restore confidence to battered, humiliated, harmed, fragile girls and women engaged in such traumatic circumstances. So paras 7, 8, 9, 10 are indicative of the necessary investments in various sectors that will take the state of Meghalaya forward in achieving its sustainable developmental goals as recommended by the Niti Aayog. These funds are required, and the MDA government must ensure that these interventions must be put in place as planned and designed. Para 11 to 13, this government has committed itself to investing 1.8 lakh per annum per pupil to managing committees to bear the costs of running schools across the state. This will go a long way in dealing with the financial issues of schools, and I laud this intervention in this sector. Our government must ensure that this fund will handhold especially schools operating with little or no assistance from it. Post-COVID-19, education and learning have been compromised, sir. The government must supplement and assist to the maximum to ensure that students recover from this knowledge loss. Sir, para 14 to 15, it has been indicated that the government has indicated its commitment and laid down an approach towards the achievement of a balanced, preventive and curative healthcare system. COVID-19 has forced the government to put in place a robust system whilst combating the pandemic. These investments must be maintained for future challenges in the system. I would like to make a personal observation and suggest to the MDA government, sir, to ensure that oxygen plants put in place should serve free of cost to critical patients requiring oxygen at home. Several citizens in my constituency are now paying rupees 600 per cylinder at Umsauli, and monthly expenditures of oxygen cylinder, sir, is expensive and beyond the reach of the common man. Likely, private hospitals are also charging huge amounts from patients for the use of oxygen. So para 16 to 17, the MDA government is seized with the MMR and IMR status of the state of Meghalaya. In the several tours of the Committee for the Empowerment of Women, we have found that there are systematic challenges for pregnant women and infants, and urge the government to address these issues aggressively. A 9% reduction in maternal deaths and a 21% reduction in infant deaths in 2021 is an indicator that some change has occurred, considering that systems in this sector remain a big challenge in the state. All efforts must be put in to ensure that women in remote Meghalaya are not confronted by the same predicaments faced by women of the previous generation. State-of-the-art labor rooms or PECUs may not reach the last remote village. However, health workers working in satisfactorily planned health centers can save valuable lives. I laud the operating Care to Cure rescue mission of the MDA government, which is addressing infant and maternal deaths. It is also appreciated that teenage pregnancy is being taken up as an important agenda by this government. So timely salaries and remunerations of all staff, including ASHA workers, must be a priority for this government. The Meghalaya Health System Strengthening Project mentioned in the Governor's address should address such shortfalls. So network issues for the Noble Mother program must be sorted out and addressed. It is encouraging to observe that health centers in remote areas now find a place in this document. Institutional delivery is a compulsory intervention for safety of pregnant women and their newborn child in the modern state of Meghalaya. At para 18, over and above focus, I urge the government to attend to a compulsory handholding while transiting to organic farming practices. The achievement of an organic agro ecosystem is laudable, but not at the cost of the farmer's income loss. Agricultural practices of the past have to a large extent caused extensive soil damage, and farmers require to make huge investments to revive and renew cultivable land to achieve a sustainable agricultural practice. Farmers invest dearly in cash and kind, and agricultural produce must be sustainable if the mission mode programs in the state are to benefit them holistically. Para 36, various interventions have been spelled out to address employment and livelihood generation with a focus on economic empowerment of women. These efforts will to a large extent enhance income generation in especially rural Meghalaya. I urge the MD government to design suitable policies that will attend to deprivation of employment generation in urban Meghalaya. The Honorable Governor's address lacks a focus on urban-oriented policy and planning. The urban citizen continues to be challenged by this glaring critical gap in funding. Post-pandemic, urbanites are likely to be displaced in income generation, and this critical situation needs to be urgently addressed. The MDA government must put a concerted effort and initiate a policy that will attend to the loss of employment opportunity for people living in cities with limited access to opportunity for income generation. At para 45, the Jal Jeevan mission has to some extent addressed potable drinking water in homes in rural Meghalaya. There is an urgent need to review the Amrut scheme for urban Meghalaya. Several localities in the heart of Shillong city are still not served with any potable drinking water systems, with the exception of the GSWSS3, which still provides an inadequate distribution system to suburban habitations. A debate raised on the floor of the House on steel versus plastic pipes for house water connection directs my attention to NV areas benefiting from Jal Jeevan Mission. At Para 48, there is a mention of expansion, augmentation, and replacement of substations, including metering, infrastructure improvement for both single-phase and three-phase consumers. This is urgently required in most localities in the city of the state. However, street electrification is an important intervention for various reasons, the most important being safety of citizens. This has seen no mention in the governor's address. I recall the noble efforts of former Chief Minister late P.A. Sangma to light up all highways in Shillong city. I recall the noble, and this is an important concern for the citizens of Shillong city. I urge the MDA government to wisely invest in an extensive program for revamping the existing street electrification system that has already passed its test in time and step up to a modern arrangement. At Para 60, there's a growing demand to urge the MDA government to consider the possibility of including items such as dal, sugar, and oil under the NFSA program. The recent hard times faced during the pandemic has indicated clearly that citizens cannot live by rice alone. With these observations and suggestions, I once again thank the Honorable Governor for his comprehensive address and urge the MDA government to translate this blueprint into action in the interest of the people of the state of Meghalaya. I resume my seat, sir. Thank you.